Hello and welcome to this week's Food for Thought. It's Mark Lockridge here, pastor of New Life Fellowship in Letterkenny and Milford Reformed Presbyterian Church. It's great to have you with us. You remember the craze back in the early 2000s for DIY programs on the television? Programs like changing rooms. One minute you'd see a room looking like a set from a 70s soap opera, and the next it's been transformed with a lick of paint, some wallpaper stuck to cupboard doors, and a great big sheet thrown over the ugly sofa, giving the whole thing a funky new millennium look. Star designers, and I use the word star somewhat loosely, like Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen and Linda Barker, and others would wave their magic wand and the place would be transformed. And sometimes it was proper car crash TV. And on reflection, that was probably on purpose. The reaction in the owners' faces as they saw the ghastly pink paint job, or something valuable ruined because it had been spray painted to make it look modern. I was never too sure about the durability of the finishes either. I'd love to see the room after a horde of 5-year-olds had been let loose for an afternoon. What would become of the wallpapered cupboard doors or the MDF table? There was the famous incident where a valuable teapot collection was smashed because shelves collapsed and the owner was left in tears. On top of durability problems, most of these programs only ever dealt with one room. What happened to the rest of the house? Do you only show visitors the one good room? What about the hallway? What about the unpainted bathroom or the grimy-looking pebble dash and the unkempt garden outside? If you really want to impress, the whole house, both inside and outside, needs to be done. Not with poor quality materials and workmanship. It's not enough to redecorate if you've woodworm or damp or poor foundations. The deep problems have to be dealt with. One of our current favourite programmes is Your Home Made Perfect, and at least they deal with real problems and deal with a sizable chunk of the house. And I suppose that was my big problem with the changing rooms type programmes. Rarely did they deal with the big problems. They covered them over with paint or wallpaper, or shoved them into another room. But isn't that what we often do in life? We wallpaper over our problems, or we hide them somewhere where people won't see them. But the problem is that people have a habit of stumbling across the dry rot in our lives and scuffing the wallpaper of our souls. And in a moment, the truth of who we are is laid bare. But then we paper over it again with a smile and apology and we think it's gone. Or, like junk, we move the problem to a different room in our lives and we keep on moving, never dealing with it. Attics are great places, but the soul doesn't have an attic. Imagine a master architect, builder, interior designer, and decorator moving into your life. He starts with the foundations and puts them to right. Then he moves inside and deals with all the rubbish, taking it away for disposal. Then he starts to work round each room of your life and sands and plasters and paints and polishes, treats the dry rot, making each room exquisitely beautiful. No wallpaper or big sheets or MDF to be seen. Your soul is restored to what it was meant to be. Each part of your life is clean. Nothing needs to be hidden. All the long-hidden faults now become a point of praise. We had this problem, we might say, but it was nothing to the builder. He knew how to deal with it. We're not talented enough to be master builders and decorators. We're only wallpaperers of the soul. We need the great architect and renovator himself. Listen to these words from David, a king of Israel in the Bible. Don't keep looking at my sins. Remove the stain of my guilt. And then this, create in me a clean heart, O God. Renew a right spirit within me. Create in the Bible means to bring something out of nothing. And that's what God has to do, for our souls are more derelict than we like to imagine. But that's why He is the master renovator. So at the start of a new year, let's not wallpaper over our souls, but let's ask the master renovator to make us new from the inside out. Thanks for listening. And if you want to get in touch, drop me an email, mark@newlifefellowship.ie. Until next time here in Finn Valley FM, have a great week.